Yo, what's up, peeps? It's your boy King. So, let's talk about NBA 2K21 and what it means to be skillful. So, let's talk about the actual skill caps in this game, right? Now, a lot of park guys like to hide behind that shot stick as it means skill to them. But in reality, it's true that it means skill, but it's not basketball skill, and that's what I'm talking about. Anytime we're talking about a basketball game, the skill in the game should be basketball related. Sitting there staring at a meter trying to time it to get it to flash green, that's not basketball skill, that's video game skill. But there's a deeper issue with all of this, and it's the fact that in 2K there's not a lot of areas in the game that actually take skills. Like, if you're gonna have, and I get that you need video game skill in a video game, but if you're gonna have skill, a skill like that for shooting, then you need some type of timing system for a lot of different areas around in the game of basketball. Well, video game basketball. For example, if I time a steal, maybe I should be able to get green lights on steals and stuff like that. Maybe if the ball is exposed and I time my reach perfectly, maybe I should be able to green a steal. Maybe I should be able to get over a screen by timing it perfectly. That's the problem with NBA 2K, in my opinion, is that everything is so reliant on that shot meter. That is the only skill gap in the game, is the shot meter. Everything else is predetermined by animations. Everything else, is basically on rails, and it has been since NBA 2K14. NBA 2K14 was the game that really put this into overdrive. There's a reason why NBA 2K11 was regarded as one of the best NBA 2Ks that came out, and that's because that game freed up a lot. Now, the animations in that game, they didn't take you all the way out of the game. You had control, you could do a step back, and also the controls and stuff like that wasn't so complicated to where doing simple moves, because that's where they try to add the skill gap in. They try to make these moves so hard to do on the sticks or whatever that it's not even practical to try to pull them off in the midst of a game. That's not where the skill should go in basketball. The skill should go in basketball-esque things, like being able to time steals, being able to hit screens the right way to where you can, because as of now, the screens, when we're talking about the screens, those have been broken for a while, man. Books Nelson, put up a damn video. He usually is on the Sim. When Czar does the Sim podcast, he's usually on there. His name's Books Nelson. He had a video showcasing something that I had been showcasing for a while over here on this channel, and that's the fact that you get sucked into screens. There's no skill gap with that. These guys at Park, they'll sit there and dance until an animation on a screen will take you over and you won't have any control, and then that's open 3 for them, basically. That's not how things work in real life, and that's not how things should work in a video game. I should be able to time or get over a screen in just the right angle. That should be a skill. That should be a skill gap. Okay, of course, your basketball knowledge and what offenses to run, when to take certain opportunities, that should also be a skill. And it's just so much reliant on that shot stick. There's one of the worst things one of the worst decisions Mike Wang made was to implement this shot meter and 100% greens in the game, because what that creates is an environment where nobody's actually trying to play the game of basketball. They're just trying to time a meter, and that looks really bad. And it inflates, because now 2K has this very casual audience of players coming in, and what that does is it gives them the wrong idea of what basketball is. You look at basketball and you see guys shooting real basketball on TV. Guys shoot 30%. Guys shooting like 37% from 3, and that's pretty decent. These guys get in here and they think all of a sudden they're supposed to make every open shot and miss every contested shot, and that's not what it is. What happens is there's a very real ebb and flow in these games. Guys will get really hot and put up maybe 40, and these are star players in the league, of course. They'll get really hot and put up 40, 50, 60 in James Harden's case in certain games, but then they'll decline at some point, and their numbers will start to normal out, and then they'll have cold games where they shoot like 3 for 16. You know, they'll shoot like 6 for 22 or something like that. You know, it's there's none of that in NBA 2K. You're always going to shoot above 50%, and that takes me into the other portion of what skill should be in this game, which it isn't, and that is defensive schemes. First of all, AI logic. So playing offline, there's not going to really be any skill in playing offline because the AI is silly. But if it tightened up on its defensive schemes and helped defensive rotations, you know, then we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. This video wouldn't even be a thing. You know, in terms of this portion of the video wouldn't even be a thing. You know, I have to talk about AI when I talk about skill, man, because the AI doesn't create an environment where, you know, you have to really use skill, you know, and this pertains to online in any mode to where there isn't a user on all 5 players. You know, you play online head to head, the AI is going to significantly hinder you in what you can do. You can go in there and set up the defensive settings all you want, and they're still gonna disobey those settings. Like I've done it. Like I've set my offense, I've set my defense up to have full switch defense to mimic what's in the NBA now, to where guys help and rotate over, and they still at times, like at a more than noticeable rate, they disobey my defensive settings. You know, and this is what I'm looking for. That's one of the biggest improvements that I'm looking for towards next gen. I want to see that improve. That AI needs to be much better than what it is, man. But you know, it's just in dribbling and stuff like that. You know, I mean that stuff is just it means nothing if you don't have the proper foundations in if you don't have the foundation in place to create an environment where you use skill. None of that matters. All the fancy dribble moves and stuff like that, when the ball could just morph through a guy's hand, you know, like when the ball tangibility is not respected, you know, physics is not respected, none of that means anything. So what I'm basically trying to say here, man, is that NBA 2K does not create an environment where you can use skill in anything else but the shot meter. So it's just really frustrating, man, to play this game year after year, because I mean, believe you me, those park guys don't care about this game. They don't love 2K like we love 2K, man. Like they look, let them take Park out the game. Let them make one crucial change to Park. Let Park take some skill. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You look up, it'd be 100 players online. Like, they're not trying to do that. All the changes we in the sim community have been through, and we've been right here. We've been right here advocating for the game to be better. You know, and I get it. It's the higher ups in the suits. You know, then 2K is a publicly traded company, so I mean, come on, they want to see the money. I mean, even if 2K comes to the suits with an idea, it'll get shut down if it can't make a money. You know, and this is the reason why you don't see any money being poured into My League and the season modes anymore. They basically upped the ante in 2015, and the reason they did that was to test the market to see who's going to actually play it. And then they realized there was no way to really monetize it, and it's not in the business's best interest to improve on a mode to where they can't monetize. Now, I'm afraid to see real changes in My League, because if we start seeing real changes, all of a sudden we're going to get microtransactions in it. You know, so. And I can't even say that if that's a good or a bad thing, because at least we'll have something that is that gets improvement year after year. But yeah, man, it just comes to a point to where you just get frustrated. You just get frustrated looking at these damn dudes on fucking Twitter, these big time YouTubers and stuff like that, trying to tell us, you know, what skill is. Like, dude, like half those motherfuckers don't even know how to play basketball. Like, half those motherfuckers don't have any basketball experience in real life except for like fucking throwing a ball up at the park with their friends. Like, and that's what they're judging the game off of. Like, no, man. Like, because I'm pretty sure Scott OG is gone, of course, but Mike Wang, when he was there, Scott OG's played overseas basketball. That dude knows the goddamn game. Like, he knows what the game of basketball looks like and what it should be. But guess what? Those investors, they don't give a shit about that. They care about the arcade modes, because the casuals will spend money on this game. I mean, it just comes down to it really just comes down to I mean, really, honestly, it comes down to 2K being a publicly traded company, because every game is like this, really. I mean, it's Call of Duty. Like, I mean, Call of Duty is definitely like this. Like, since that game is publicly, that company is publicly traded, like, they are not gonna care about anything skill related in that game. It's just gonna be, we need to cater to the casuals, because the casuals buy microtransactions. It's just that simple, you know. But anyway, peace out, peeps, man. It's been your boy King. Later.